Hey guys, we are here. I'm Mandy.
And I'm Sammy.
And this is a Spooky Quicky podcast, episode number
10. We made it to number 10.
Yes, number 10. Here we go. Thank you guys if you've been following us this long. We appreciate you. So, number 10, this one should be a little cleaner, a little better. We're a little more organized, a little tiny bit. All right, Sammy, what are we starting with? Movie of the day.
Yeah, we're going to start with the movie review. Just a heads up, we're going to spoil this movie. It's a new movie. If you don't want to hear a spoiler of The Woman in the Yard.
Lady in the Yard.
Lady in the Yard.
What is it called? You got me confused now. There's the woman, lady, chica in the yard.
You're thinking Lady in the...
Lady in the Water?
Lady in the Water.
Let me...
That's
right,
a nice
talk about it. Let me look it up because now I'm freaking out.
I'm almost positive it's Woman in the Yard.
It's The Woman in the Yard.
It's a new horror movie that just came out
this year, 2025. Yeah. So it was released this year at least. It's
probably no longer in theaters. It's probably streaming now, but...
We agreed we're spoiling movies now. We're not saving nothing. So we wanted to do this one last time, but we were getting behind with the new movies we've seen. So now we're caught up. We're just going to give it away.
Yeah. So we're going to review that one. We're going to give our thoughts on it. But Mandy, if you want to start.
So it's The Woman in the Yard. It just released this year, 2025. I think, like you said, it came out last month. We went to the theaters and we saw it. We were very excited for it. We love a new horror film. So tired of remakes, I guess. Some remakes are fine, but we're tired of them. I do not know how to say the director's name. He is from Spain, but we are trying to talk about it. I think it's Jaume or Jaume. Jaume Collet Serra. He is from Spain. I like the movie. I know people say that they liked it until the ending. That's what I've heard the most, where they were like, what was that ending? But I did like it, and I understood the ending. Did you?
If I liked it?
First, did you like it?
Yeah, I will say I liked it for numerous reasons. It was a fresh horror movie. It's an original, I believe it's original story. I don't think it's based on any books or anything it's not a remake. All the actors are all unknown from what I've seen.
Yeah, they might be in something, but nothing that we can recall.
Not like movies with unknown actors, because it gives a chance for a new actor to give their debut, and usually those actors they nail it. They're really good actors.
They're not typecasted into anything.
Yeah. So all the actors in this, it's
I was going to name the actors really quick. I might butcher one of these names, but it's Danielle Deadweiler, and I think she plays the mom, Ramona. And then the lady, the woman in the yard, her name is Akwasili. I'm not sure if I said that wrong.
I've seen her before.
She did look familiar, and I haven't looked into where she's from. And then there was two kids, Peyton Jackson and Estella Cahia. So that's pretty much it. The cast, I didn't know anyone. That one lady did look familiar.
Yeah.
She's in I Am Legend and The Interpreter, just so you know.
Yeah, she looked familiar, but it's a very small cast.
Yeah,
it's
no Brad Pitts or nothing. Yeah.
It's set with in a house with the mom, two kids,
on a farm,
and you got the woman in the yard. There's a husband that's shown at some point.
Yeah, and a dog, some chickens.
But to kind of sum it up, it's a story about grief. The wife loses her husband, the kids lose their father, and the wife is struggling with suicidal thoughts.
And I think they had lived in the big city, and then they moved to trying to gather themselves as a family, and then like shortly after, the husband, I won't say how he dies, but he dies. We already said that. Okay, I don't want to give every single detail, but they die in a car crash. So
yeah, the mom feels responsible for it because she was the one driving. The kids find out that she was driving after the fact. They were kind of mad at her.
She kind of hid it. Yeah.
The mom's an artist. She's upset about moving from the city to the boonies because
she's struggling. That woman is struggling. This movie is about mental health, and that's why I think a lot of people didn't get the ending, or they were like, what was that ending? If you don't, maybe people do struggle and they still didn't understand it, but if you really know mental health, you'll understand this movie. Like there's a weird twist at the end. There's a mirror involved. But I get it, and I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a weird mental health metaphor. I don't know.
Yeah, it gets a little abstract because they're playing with during the whole movie, the daughter is she's little. She's maybe 6 years old.
6 to 8, yeah.
Yeah, and she's practicing her letters and stuff. But the entire time she's drawing
R.
The R is backwards. And that comes into play.
Yeah, you're like, what is that about? And you think just a kid first, but me, I'm like, I caught that early.
So the movie's kind of involves alternate realities.
Yeah.
The woman in the yard.
So they're just sitting in the house one day, right? And the mom broke her leg in the accident. Like, her leg's all jammed up, so she's having a hard time getting up and down the stairs. She goes down, and, like, I think the son points it out. He's like, there's a woman in the yard, Ma. And she's like, what the hell? And it kind of just like, I don't know, maybe she's lost. I think there's like a psych ward nearby or a hospital. Remember, she's like, that's probably one of them people that got out of there and like, I don't know, it was just crazy or something, right? And then she's eventually the mom goes out there and is like, hello, like, do you need help? And she's real kind to her. And she's just like sitting very proper with this black cloak on, and she's just in this fancy chair, like, And I don't know, she says something, and it's just like, okay, well, she's crazy probably, right?
Well, it shows what she says at the end of the movie.
It did show in the beginning. It was just very low.
Yeah.
And then you find out, like, through the mirror world, like, I can't even explain all of it, because that part is tricky, but when you watch it, it's good. I can't explain it.
Yeah, it's kind of about alternate realities.
And it's just like he said, she was struggling with grief, after the husband died. But more than we knew, we found out later, the whole point was she was tired of that life. She was tired of those kids. She was tired of the husband. I think she wanted to go back to the crazy city life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she just wanted to change, but the change they got, she wasn't with it. She thought, oh, in the country, we'll build our little farmhouse, but she wasn't happy with it.
Yeah, I think the mom was feeling so much guilt for the father dying, not only because she was driving, but she was about to leave him, too. She was going to leave him and the kids.
She was done.
She was done. She was done being a mom.
Suffering.
And you can kind of get that, too, before that's revealed. You can kind of see that when she has her broken leg because of the car accident, she's just tired. She's just burnt out of being a mom. She's kind of forgetting stuff. Like, oh, man, the dog doesn't have food. And like, oh,
she
shit.
Snaps a little harder on the kids, and like when the R thing, she's like, just learn how to do it. Like, do it correctly. But then you can tell she loves them, but it's a mental health thing. She's having a break. Like, she's not her true self, I guess. I don't know.
And the way all that was done was pretty good, because you feel for that mom. You're like, man, as a parent, I've been there.
You feel bad.
Yeah, you're just burnt out. You're just tired. You just don't want to have no responsibilities.
But the acting, I will say, was great, because as kid actors, sometimes I'll be one and be judging the child, but I'll be like, oh, that kid. These kids were really great.
Mm-hmm.
They were great, especially the older son. There's scenes where he's starting to realize something's wrong with that woman, and he starts watching her, and then he has to run outside, and like, it's just like, Mom, what the hell's going on? And then he takes matters into his own hands as the man of the house, and he actually confronts the woman, and he's face to face with her, and it gets like crazy. And that's when that woman, you find out she's, I guess she's summed up as not necessarily death, but like, I don't know, the man on the white horse kind of thing. I think it is death. But
I was gonna actually say we're gonna spoil it. But a lot of people are probably, what's the woman in the yard? What is she? But it's essentially, from what I took, it's a manifestation of the mom's negative emotions.
Yeah, like her hate, her rage, her anger. But the woman's nice, but she's there. She's like, you called for me. You wanted this. The mom wakes up in the morning, and one of the scenes, she's like, oh, let me get through this. And any person would be like, oh, she's just asking God for the strength to make it through the day, right? And she's like, that was not God you were talking to. You were asking for this. She's like, I just need assistance. I need help. I need whatever. And basically you find out, she just wants to be gone. She don't want to be there no more. She's tired. Like you said, she's done.
Oh, I think another important point was she was manifested because the mom was contemplating suicide.
Yes. So all of that, those feelings, it's whatever, it's super mental health based. It called that woman in the yard.
Yeah.
And she was there for her, and she came for her, and she wasn't even there for the kids or nothing. She was spooking them. She was scary, but she came for that mom. And eventually there's a scene where the mom telling the kids, just go, right? And somehow, I don't want to like give every single detail. We're giving away everything, but I'm not going to give you every detail. But remember when there's a scene where like she's a shadow person, like her shadow's all over the wall, and it causes like things to fall, right? Like the woman in the yard's wild. And so the kids eventually, she's like, just get on and go outside. She talks with the woman at some point when they're in the attic. They're trying to hide from the shadow. But eventually the mom gets them out, because the woman's like, okay, it's time to do it. It's time. Let's go. And basically she gives her a gun, a shotgun, right? I don't know if it's a shotgun or...
Yeah, the woman in the yard is essentially saying, all right, it's time to take your life.
It's like
this is what
kiss.
You wanted.
Yeah.
You got to do it. So that's why the mom kicks out the kids, because she's like, all right, I'm going to do it. Kids,
keep walking,
go to the neighbor's house.
A couple miles away, in the dark. Yeah.
But then she decides not to, and this is where it gets strange. Yeah, she decides not to. She kind of meets up with her kids again. The woman in the yard is gone. Then they go to the neighbor's house. They all walk together as a happy family again. They get to the neighbor's house, and
I don't think it's the neighbor's house, because I can't remember the name, but in the beginning, her and her husband said, once we get our little farm, we're gonna name it Ivy Farm. It was like a flower name, remember? It was like, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the flower, but it was like Ivy Farm. So when you see, it says like Ivy Farm, when they're there. So I'm like, is this what it was supposed to be? This is where they were supposed to be? And then you go and you see there's a painting and it's like really chaotic. It's one of the mom's paintings when they go inside and they zoom in and her signature, her name's Ramona, and the R's backwards.
Yeah. Again, yeah, you see a lot of backwards R's throughout the whole movie. And to me, that represented it. They're in a different reality. I don't know.
Also,
that was weird.
How did the little girl already was so comfortable? She kept writing everything backwards. I'm almost thinking like somehow at some point the mom, they shifted from their original reality to this reality when in the move or when the husband died, something happened. This part I guess I don't understand. I understand most of it, but this part where I'm like, at some point that little girl already knew those backwards are. She was familiar and they were trying to teach her, no, that's not how you do it. Learn this new way. Learn this new way. But eventually they go home and they're all happy. When the mom decides not to kill herself, Death's kiss or whatever the woman in the yard is disappears. She literally is gone. And they're like, is she coming back? They're like, no, you don't have to worry about her anymore. Because I guess she doesn't feel bad anymore. So they go into that house. And I'm just assuming that they're happy because they're home. And that's maybe the reality they were originally from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like in a weird way.
It's a little abstract. Yeah, that part we're just like, we just kind of had a discussion about that after we watched it. But if you were to watch it, yeah, let us know what you think about that because it gets a little weird. Yeah.
I think I did look up a summary, but we went like the day it came out or something, so there wasn't much about it yet, and I haven't looked it up again. But I think after we do this, I might look it up again and see if there's like a better explanation of that part.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else it could mean. I mean, obviously, they went to a different place. They're happy. The grief demon is gone, and the little girl can write her R's like that because that's how they are there in that realm. Their farm is complete because I know the sign was complete. So I don't know if this is what she was looking for the entire time. This is probably the part that makes the movie more paranormal than, obviously the woman in the yard's pretty paranormal, but if you believe any kind of religion, you know, death and heaven and hell and God and Satan. So that's not as spooky as like a reality of an alternate reality, you know? I don't know. This probably just added a little final touch on the movie to make it a little bit extra spooky, like being in a parallel alternate reality. I don't know.
But yeah, the backwards R that you see consistently throughout the movie, it kind of reminded me of a horror movie with Kiefer Sutherland called Mirrors.
Literally thought of it.
And at the end of that movie, he walks out of the building where he fights this demon and he reads a cop car, but the words are backwards on the cop car. Yeah. And he realizes, oh shit, I'm in the mirror and I'm dead.
Yep.
That's kind of what it reminded me of, is mirrors.
Mirrors are very, they're portals, you know, and lots of voodoos and different religions and stuff. Like, they believe that they're portals. A lot of, I know, like, hardcore religious people won't even have mirrors in their house because they think they're portals.
Yeah.
So I know that that's played even in my my favorite movie, Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. There's a cutscene where, if you got this version, you know, but some of the movie doesn't have this version, where they go into the church and they spray paint a mirror black because they are used as like scrying. What is that word? I'm having a blank. You don't know? Okay. But yeah, mirrors are pretty magical. So to make a horror movie with those, it's always a good time.
But nonetheless, yeah, I did like the movie, although the ending was abstract. It's a movie you're going to have a conversation about because you're just like, hey, what did that mean?
Different.
Yeah, I like different. So I'm glad
I liked it. I love the acting. I love the story. I think when we watch it the second time, it's one of those movies that maybe things will make a little bit, oh, okay, now I get it. Or if I read a summary, some psychologist writes, and I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, people are usually good at discussing movies and stuff, and people catch details, and I love talking about movies, so if you've seen Woman in the Yard, let's talk about it. Let's hit us up on Instagram. See what you thought.
Curious, because I know a lot of people liked it, but didn't like the ending. And I wonder if it's just because they didn't understand it. So maybe if we can all clarify the ending fully, we can like it a little bit better. Because it was a good movie. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So we didn't get anybody writing us ghost stories. We asked you guys to send us stories, and none of you did. What's going on? You guys aren't seeing ghosts? Come on. So Sammy is going to bless us with the story today. I don't know anything about this. I don't know if it's real or if it's just one of those like ghost stories you hear as a kid or what. So tell us.
Well, it's actually a combination of a bunch of micro stories. It's about a few different houses that I've lived in throughout my life.
So true stories.
Yeah, they're true stories.
Okay.
So the first story is about, I was young. I was maybe about 6 years old. I remember my sister wasn't born yet. She wasn't here. So I must have been 5 or 6. But back then, my parents and I, we were always at my grandma's house in Highland Park. And if you're familiar with Highland Park, there's a little area of Highland Park called the Hole. It's in front of the Highland Park Library. But anyways, she lived at the first house all the way at the end of the Hole. It's like a big hill that leads into kind of a dead end type thing. But this house was just kind of scary to begin with. But I remember my grandma's basement was a her work area. She was a seamstress. She had a bunch of sewing machines in her basement, and she sewed for different casinos. Anyways, when she was done sewing, we'd all go upstairs and stuff, and we'd watch movies in the living room. This one specific night, I remember this vividly. We were all watching movies, and I was on the floor with my ear to the floor watching movies. And I think my cousins were on the floor with me. My mom and my grandma were on the couch. But we heard myself and my cousins, we heard the sewing machines going off. And I remember my grandma saying, like, not saying anything, but looking scared. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's when I found out from, I think, my uncle that house was extremely haunted. I remember, this memory gets a little bit fuzzy, but I think the guy that did live there was a veteran who took his life. Mm-hmm. If I recall correctly, that's what I do remember. But yeah, that's just one of the kind of micro stories about that house in Highland Park. This other time too, my grandma had this crazy boyfriend named Isaac at one point. And we're all watching movies, and I remember Isaac, he just started yelling. And I remember looking around like, what's going on? He was yelling outside. He was looking out the window, looking out into the park, because my grandma's house, right next to it was a park on the left-hand side. It was a big park. And he was looking out the window, yelling at something. And I remember him going outside with the Bible, looking up at one of the trees, and there was a big owl, a big white owl looking at the house from the tree. And it was creepy because I remember that owl kind of grinning. Maybe it wasn't. I remember he might be failing me, but I remember him being in front of the owl, looking up at the tree, reading the Bible. And if you're wondering why an owl, why would he be doing that? Some they say in lore that it could be an omen, it could be a witch taking the form of an owl.
Or some people believe they're aliens.
Or aliens, yeah, the fourth kind.
Their eyes.
But it wasn't those. That wasn't one of those kind of owls. The fourth kind owls.
Oh, okay.
I forget what those are called. Barn owls.
Yeah, like the barn ones.
But yeah, that's another one of those creepy stories about that place. But that house was really haunted. The house is still standing. I still pass by it every once in a while.
Someone lives there?
Yeah, someone lives there currently. But there's other stories that I have about the house I lived in quite recently. Should I tell one of those?
Sure. I don't even know. Go on, give us one more.
Okay. So again, these are little micro stories, but the house I was living in less than a year ago. I'm trying to think. I was in my teens. I was probably 17 years old, and I was hanging out with my band member, the guy that played bass in my band, and we were hanging out in my room. He was on my bed, and I had a little desk with a computer, and I was on the computer, and he was in my bed, and he had knocked out. He just fell asleep. So I went upstairs. I had an old car at the time, so I would dust my old car and I would cover it with the cover. So when he was knocked out, I was done on the computer. I went upstairs and I was doing that, and he comes running upstairs like winded. He's like, "Hey, where have you been?" I'm like, "I've been up here, just dusting my car." He's like, "Oh." He looked weird, like he'd never done anything like that. I'm like, "Why are you asking where I was?" I'm like, "Were you scared?" He's like, "Yeah, something happened in your room." I'm like, "What happened?" He's like, "And I was in your bed." He's like, "I'd fallen asleep for a little bit." He's like, when I woke up, he said something was pushing him back down on the bed. He said he wasn't able to get up, like a form of sleep paralysis, maybe. But the weird thing about this story is it might not be too scary, maybe for some. This guy was, he didn't believe in nothing. He didn't believe in God. He didn't believe in ghosts. He was like a stone cold skeptic. Nothing, paranormal. But I've never seen him scared like that. And that's what kind of scared me. But maybe a future time I could tell a few other stories about this house because a few other friends have witnessed and seen things in this house.
Yeah, I wonder if he just had like a sleep paralysis thing because they're all around the world, everyone has the same exact people that they see and these same dark figures and they don't know each other and how are they. So even if he didn't believe, that could be something that's truly real. I want to look more into the sleep paralysis thing.
I think sleep paralysis is an actual medical diagnosis.
It is, but the hallucinations or the visuals that people see.
Yeah.
Why are they the same? Like Egypt and China and nobody even talks, like before the dawn of the internet even, they were seeing the same man.
And there's a great chance he did have sleep paralysis, but specifically he had said he was being pushed down by two hands.
Pressure.
By two hands.
You weren't messing with him?
No, it wasn't me. No, I was upstairs dusting my old car in the garage.
Your sister or something?
Well, If I was 17, she must have been
little kid. She wasn't like
a little kid. Yeah. Definitely wasn't her. Wasn't any of my family members. But
that's scary, especially for someone that's so like an atheist.
Yeah, he was an atheist. Yeah, he didn't believe in nothing, no ghost, none of that. That to me scared me because if you get a person like that saying that there's something that they can't explain, maybe.
The funny thing is, no one at that house has ever experienced that, and I live there, and no one's ever had that. So only him. I wonder if he had something attached with him, if it was spiritual, or for someone not to believe like that and just have it right, like.
Yeah, after the fact, I just kind of learned as time went on, this guy had demons.
Yeah, so I wonder if it was literally him, not something in that house, because like no one in that house has had experience with that. I mean, we've had a couple of spooky things, which you'll talk about again, but that in particular, no, I think that was something definitely attached to him.
Oh, actually, that kind of ties back around to Woman in the Yard. Is I was having a conversation with one of my best friends, and he had explained to me that he sensed something like a dark presence around me. And I said, what do you think it is? Do you think it's something haunting me or something? He's like, no, I think it's you, and it's an extension of you, the dark side of you. And that kind of ties into Woman in the Yard because that's what that movie's about.
It was an extension of her.
Yeah, it was an extension of her. So I thought that was kind of creepy, and that was an interesting factor that I've never seen done in a movie like that. So we all have a dark side, and just be cautious because that dark side is following you.
Yep. Some of us, I mean, a little less than others. You gotta heal. You gotta be aware of it. You have to accept the fact that you have darkness, because without that, with light and dark, there's a balance. Just balance it. But if it gets too heavy like this one, you're gonna experience some stuff.
Yeah, we all, like Mandy said, we all have dark sides, but don't let the darkness take over.
Be joyful. Well, thank you for the story. Sure. Now we can move on to some local events, local cool spooky stuff. Sammy and I are both participating on May 10th, the Missing Museum Horror High Prom. So that is located in Van Nuys. They're selling tickets right now. They're $35 for general admission. It's literally like a night out. We're vending there, yeah, but it's like a literal dance prom party. They're gonna have DJs, snacks, fun stuff, vendors, I think there's, I don't know how many vendors, not too many, but a decent amount where you should support us all. But him and I are both going to be vending there May 10th. You can go on the Missing Museum Instagram or website and get the tickets. They also have a VIP package, so that one's includes some extra things, so check it out. But they're $35 for general, and get out there, have fun, enjoy yourselves, go on a date.
Did you mention what the place that it's at?
I didn't.
So it's supposed to be this place that it's at is a really cool museum.
Yeah, the Spencer from Discount Cemetery was telling us about the location.
Yeah,
because we were like, oh, it's like a cool neon signs everywhere, old museum, like an old plane hangar.
Yeah, he said it's an old airplane hangar it's like a museum with a bunch of like really cool oddities, kind of.
We haven't been. But
I've never been.
I kind of like always to be surprised, so I don't want to look at it too much because I want to walk in there and be like, whoa. We'll for sure make a video when we're there, but hopefully you just come out. They still have tickets for sale, so. But it sounds cool, right? Like people just go to the museum, so they're renting it for this event. So
yeah, it's
a nighttime event. I think it's like 8 to like midnight or something. So you put them kids to bed, get grandma to watch them. Come out.
Bring grandma.
Bring grandma. The kids can. I don't know if they can come. But
yeah,
I don't know. Don't say leave them at home.
It's all ages, right?
Is it all ages? I almost think it's like a drinking event.
Is it? Okay.
My mind, you guys. But yeah, come out if you can. Check it out. Get more details on their page. But we mentioned this before, Monsterpalooza. It's May 30th to June 1st. We're going to go that Saturday, which is the 31st, I believe. Mm-hmm. So we'll be there, not vending, but we're going to be there. So come see us, because I think we want to bring some little goodies. If you're like, hey, Sammy Ruiz, give me stickers. You will. So tell them.
Yeah, we're going to have merch that we'll be giving away. We'll be filming videos and stuff. So yeah, come out, say hi, be in one of our videos.
Yeah, I haven't been in like a year. He goes every year, but I think last year it was just couldn't afford it. But this year I got my tickets, so I'll be there. It's fun. It's like the OG HorrorCon, and it's so close to us. I love Pasadena. Lived there before, worked there. It's just cool. There's always parking, easy access if you want to just get dropped off. Easy. Easy in and out. Just buy your ticket beforehand.
Yeah, if you've never been, it's a really fun event. Cool. Everyone there that goes is, for the most part, is super nice. Everyone's super accepting. Everyone just is legitimately happy and excited to be around fellow horror movie lovers.
I know there's a lot of competition in the horror scenes and stuff, and some places might talk shit about it or whatever. They're all good. All horror events are good. I can't tell you any of them are crap or dumb. They're all different, and that's why I want to make sure you know, like, if someone's telling you, oh, that one's boring, that's not true. Everyone likes different things. If they're not into special effects or like certain, they get a lot of bigger names and actors and stars and stuff. They might not like that, so they're gonna be like, that's boring. Maybe they're more of a haunt person, because this one isn't really pertaining to any haunts. So just go for yourself and go check it out. And I know this year, that's so different. Even last year, I think they opened it up to new vendors. Monsterpalooza was pretty like tight with like their same vendors for a long time. Mm-hmm. So now there's a lot more smaller vendors, and this year they opened up even bigger hall with more small people, like small businesses. So I'm like, why wouldn't you go? Because there's cool people, big celebrities, and then there's small businesses, and there's probably big businesses. There's a mix, so just get out there. Yeah. Especially if you're local, why wouldn't you go? And you like horror?
Yeah, if you like horror movies, they're all fun. They all offer something a little different.
All of them.
Monsterpalooza, Midsummer Scream, Creepy Con.
Yeah, there's swap meets. There's so many, and I can list all of them. They're all different.
Yeah, they're all different. They're all awesome. I love them all.
Yes, and there's all new ones popping up. Go to the little ones. Go to the one on the corner that's got 2 vendors and some lemonade. It's gonna have some good shit. Like, go. So we'll be there. Find us that Saturday, and we'll say hello. And then our favorite little coffee shop, Coffinated Coffee, and what is the city?
La Puente.
La Puente. I always want to say El Sereno or El Monte. I get confused. La Puente. They just made a new menu, MCR drinks. Super cute. So if you're a MCR, My Chemical Romance fan, even if you're not, I mean, if you are, it's even double whammy. But if you're not, go try their new drinks. She's always coming out with some new stuff on the menu, and they're so good at that. Like, they look nice, they taste good, their visuals, their menus, like what they put into it just goes together. She knows what she's doing. So if you're in that area, get out there. Yeah,
and they're not a corporate business. It's literally a daughter and her mom and her father. It's really nice, awesome family.
They're so sweet.
Yeah, yes, really cool. They're very accepting. They let us go film there after hours.
Go watch our Terrifier video. Somewhere down the page.
She didn't even know us that well, and she just said,
sure, come in. We've been there before, but now we're better friends. Yeah. It's really sweet. So you should support small business always. I know there's a lot of coffee shops, a lot of horror-based coffee shops. They're all different as well. You go to every single one and buy something from them.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Fuck Starbucks.
Yeah, but fuck Starbucks.
I don't like Starbucks.
I don't even drink coffee. I can't even have caffeine. So going here, she offers like decafs and tea, like lemonades. I love that shit. So as long as you have decaf options for me, I'm coming. I'll get a water if you don't. That's fine. So definitely check out, if you guys know any other ones. I know there's a lot of, like, not even just coffee shops. There's spooky little pizza places popping up. There's spooky little, I don't know, ice cream parlors. Whatever it is, tell us, because we're trying to get out there more with the food. We just checked out Voodoo Donuts. This was my first time ever. You've probably been to the...
No, never. Okay. I've seen it at Universal City Walk.
We knew about it, but we never been. So I want to go to more food places. Food is where it's at. We love food, and we don't really get to showcase it that much. All food is great, but if you have spooky ones or like even 90s kind of vibe stuff for me, like, let me know. Even pervy ones. I don't know if that's a real thing, like a slutty sushi bar. Let me know. I will be there. I will eat. Okay, let me stop.
There's a cool pizza shop in Riverside called University Pizza Company. And it's
so good.
Yeah, it's like a horror themed pizza shop.
Small business.
Small business. The owner is probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Literally, we're not playing. He's so nice. He's so sweet.
Please go. Yeah, well, from us, it's kind of far.
It's far, but you might be closer.
Yeah,
that's Riverside, or was it?
It's in Riverside. Okay, yeah, but we'll make that drive.
Yeah, we also did a video with them because they're amazing. So scroll down further for that one, but I'm Tiffany in that one.
And I get killed.
But yeah, check out these places. Let us know any other spooky shops. Let us know what you thought about The Woman in the Yard. Did you like it? Did you like the acting? You want to talk about the ending? You can DM us. You can put in the comments. We're going to respond, right? We check these.
Yeah.
I'll check. And then if you have a ghost story, we need aliens, ghosts, whatever. You know, if you woke up in the middle of the night and your boyfriend's floating, you know, like, tell me. We want to hear about it.
Yeah, we'd love to hear. But thank you to all of our listeners. We do get feedback on Instagram saying that you guys are listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We weren't sure if you guys were there. Hello.
Yeah. They're getting better and better. We are learning. We're learning to be better conversationalists.
Yeah. I talk a lot, and I talk fast, and I overpower, and I apologize.
And I don't talk enough. But
we're not a good balance.
We're learning to balance.
We're learning.
But nonetheless, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for supporting us, and we're very grateful.
10 whole episodes, guys. Thank you. So 11's coming. Bye, guys.
Bye.